This is a phrase that has come up a lot, and I've noticed more and more. It's said different ways, but the basics are these. If you don't believe in God, or if you sin, and do not repent, your soul will be sent to hell to be tortured for the rest of eternity. Knowing that, are you really willing to risk eternal torture by denying God? This is known as Pascal's wager. I believe in God, because if I don't I might be sent to hell. If I'm right, I go to heaven. If I'm wrong, it doesn't matter. Now this has been addressed in numerous ways. The most credible, and the one I like best, is that if God is really so all-knowing, then he knows that following Pascal's wager is a gamble and a cop-out. Are you really going to tell me God is so easily fooled? The thing is, if I'm risking eternal damnation, because I've got it wrong, you're damn right I want it right. In which case, I don't want to just believe in God, I want to know that God exists. I want to know I have it right. It is not good enough that I just have faith. Christians believe they have it right, and anyone who disagrees is going to hell. So do Muslims. They both can't be right, but they both can be wrong. It's not just these two. What about the Jehovah's Witnesses? Is God's name really Jehovah? Is it really that important that I know this? Or how about the Mormons? Is it really that important that I wear the same pair of underwear all my life, without washing them? If I'm gonna miss out on my chance at being a god to a world of my own design, I'd like to know that. But your faith is not going to convince me. Telling me how many others agree with you is not going to convince me either. What will convince me is proof. Not only of God's existence, but of God's will. And preferably a way to communicate with God, so that I can ask him myself, and furthermore a way to record his answer for others to witness. See if there's others out there like me, they want to know too, and just as you can't convince me by saying just have faith, I can't convince them. Just as I want proof, so do they. A voice in my head that only I can hear and cannot record may very well mean that I'm crazy. If I can show to others how God is communicating with me and what he's saying, that is proof that I'm not crazy. The thing is, if anyone could possibly offer proof that their God is the truth and that their God's will is divine, wouldn't that be the best way to lead others to the truth? You wouldn't have to worry about non-believers or critical thinkers, you'd have proof. But that's blasphemy. That's placing yourself before God. Guess what? That is the way I am. And if I'm to believe you, that is the way God made me. If you're going to tell me that an all-knowing, all-caring, ultimately and unconditionally loving God is going to make me this way, and then let me rot in hell because of it, you're going to have a very hard time convincing me of how great your God is. But it's not about proof. You have to have what? Faith? Faith is the acceptance of something without proof. Faith is not good enough. If my eternal soul is on the line, I want proof that I've got it right. Well, there's the Bible. Oh sure, there's also the Torah, the Popol Vuh, the Quran, the Talmud, the Book of Mormon, there's any number others books, all claiming truth, and have followers that claim it's the truth. Which is right? If it is so important that I get it right, none of this is good enough. I want proof, not only of God's existence, but of God's will. I want to know, from the rules maker himself, that I'm doing what he wants me to do, and what I can avoid so as not to do it wrong. If God is so caring, and so desires my company in heaven, why is it so wrong that I ask for proof? If the slightest misstep is all it takes to fall to brimstone, what is wrong with me wanting to know where to step? How am I to know that I've stepped out of bounds, if I don't know what the rules are? And if I've missed that step unknowingly, how am I to know that I need to repent? Or even of what to repent? We teach our kids what we believe is right and best, and we tell our kids to ask us if they are unsure. Why is it so different for me to ask God for help and expect an answer? What is so difficult about answering me, if God is so all-powerful and all-present? God works in mysterious ways? That's a cop-out. God answers all prayers with yes, no, or maybe. I've not heard any yes, no, or maybe in all the times I've prayed. And I'm not asking a simple question here, I want an explanation. Yes, no, or maybe is not going to answer my question adequately. All I'm asking for is proof. If your God truly is, why is it so hard to find proof?